Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins All World, where we dig deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we've got an exciting find that could be hiding right under your nose, the 1980 Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that you might have tossed into your change jar or overlooked in your pocket change could actually be worth thousands of dollars. Stick around to find out just how much this seemingly ordinary coin could fetch, and what makes it so special in the world of coin collecting. Let's start by setting the stage. The 1980 Lincoln penny is part of the famous Lincoln cent series, a coin that has been in circulation for over a century. The design, featuring President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, has remained largely unchanged for decades. But while this coin may look like just another regular cent, it has some hidden features that make it stand out to collectors. The 1980 Lincoln penny may not have been particularly rare when it was first minted, but over the years, the number of coins in pristine condition has dwindled, making those that are still in great shape highly desirable. Like most pennies, these coins were widely circulated, so finding one in mint condition is a rare and valuable find. But that's not all. There are a few errors and variations that collectors are on the lookout for, which can dramatically increase the value of your 1980 penny. First off, let's talk about the most sought-after error for the 1980 Lincoln penny, the double die obverse error. If you're not familiar with this term, a double die occurs when the coin is struck twice, resulting in a doubled image. This can be seen on the date, the letters, or even the details of Lincoln's portrait. The most common area for this error to appear is in the date, where the 1980 will appear to be doubled, which can make it easily recognizable. The double die error is one of the most coveted types of errors for collectors, and it's a must-have for any serious penny enthusiast. Another error to look out for on the 1980 Lincoln penny is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be stamped off-center. The misaligned design makes the coin appear unusual and distinct, which makes it highly appealing to collectors who appreciate uniqueness and rarity. Even slight misalignments can make these coins worth much more than their face value, but it doesn't stop there. The 1980 Lincoln penny also has variations in terms of the mint marks. While most of these pennies were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, some were minted at the Denver Mint, and coins with a D mint mark are often more sought after by collectors. So, if you come across a 1980 penny with a mint mark, be sure to check its condition and any potential errors. It could be worth much more than you think. So, how much could your 1980 Lincoln penny be worth? Well, it all depends on the condition and the presence of any rare errors. If you've got a well-preserved penny with a double die error or a misaligned strike, you could be looking at a coin worth up to $37,300. Yes, you heard that correctly. $37,300 for a single penny. That's an incredible amount of money for a coin that many people would normally overlook. Now, you might be wondering, how can you identify if your 1980 Lincoln penny is worth a small fortune? The first step is to closely examine the date and inscription for any signs of doubling. Look for doubled numbers or letters, particularly in the year 1980. Then, check for off-center strikes. This will appear as a misaligned design. Finally, always consider the condition of the coin. If it's been well taken care of and shows minimal wear, it will naturally be more valuable. In conclusion, the 1980 Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin you find in your pocket change, but in the right condition or with the right error, it can be worth an incredible amount of money. So, make sure to inspect any 1980 pennies you come across, whether it's the double die error, the off-center strike, or simply a coin in excellent condition. It could be worth far more than a penny's worth. Today, we're diving into a coin that's caught the eye of many collectors over the years, the 1954 Lincoln penny. At first glance, this might look like just another penny, but when you take a closer look, you'll see that it holds much more than just face value. So, if you're a collector or someone who loves discovering rare finds, keep watching, because this penny could be worth far more than you think. Let's start with a bit of background on the 1954 Lincoln penny. This coin is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which has been circulating in the U.S. since 1909. Featuring President Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the design is one of the most recognizable and enduring in American coinage. But here's the catch: while it may seem like a simple coin, the 1954 Lincoln penny has qualities that make it especially interesting to collectors. First off, the 1954 penny wasn't produced in limited numbers, so it was widely circulated. However, over time, most of these pennies have worn down from everyday use, making the ones in excellent condition much rarer and more valuable today. In fact, a well-preserved 1954 Lincoln penny can fetch a high price, especially if it has certain errors or variants that make it stand out from the rest. One of the most valuable features of the 1954 Lincoln penny is the double die error. For those who aren't familiar, a double die error occurs when the coin is struck multiple times during the minting process. This causes certain parts of the design, like the date, the letters, or even Lincoln's profile, to appear doubled. The double die is one of the most sought-after errors in the world of coin collecting, and it's what makes the 1954 penny so appealing to collectors. The doubled 1954 on the coin is one of the most commonly recognized markers of this error. If you have one of these double die pennies, you could be holding a real treasure, but that's not all. The 1954 Lincoln penny is also famous for some interesting minting variations. For example, there are two types of mint marks that collectors should keep an eye out for: the D mint mark, which indicates the penny was minted in Denver, and the S mint mark, which means it was minted in San Francisco. These mint marks can affect the rarity and value of the coin, especially if they're in exceptional condition. Now, let's talk about condition, which is key when it comes to determining the value of any coin. Since the 1954 penny was produced in high quantities, the majority of them show signs of wear from years of circulation. However, if you happen to come across one that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could have a real gem on your hands. A penny that's been well preserved over the years, free from scratches, stains, or heavy wear, can be worth much more than just a few cents. The mint state of the coin is a big factor in its overall value, and finding one in grade MS 65 or higher can significantly boost its worth. Here's where things get even more exciting. If you've got a 1954 Lincoln penny with the right error, and it's in outstanding condition, you could be looking at a coin worth up to $63,500. Yes, that's right, $63,500. For a penny that was once worth just 1 cent, this is an incredible amount of money, and it highlights just how valuable rare coins can be. So, how do you know if your 1954 Lincoln penny is worth big money? Start by checking the date for any signs of doubling. This is the most common double die error you'll find on this penny. Look for any signs of doubled letters, especially the 1954 and the Liberty inscription. Then, check the mint mark on the reverse side to determine whether your coin was minted in Denver or San Francisco. Finally, take a close look at the condition of the coin. If it's in mint condition, free from damage, and well preserved, you might just have a rare find on your hands. In conclusion, the 1954 Lincoln penny is far more than just a common coin. Whether you've got a double die error, a coin with a rare mint mark, or simply one that's been kept in fantastic condition, it could be worth a significant amount of money. If you come across one of these rare pennies, make sure to do a thorough inspection. You might have a hidden treasure right there in your pocket. Today, we're diving into a gem from the 1980s that's been quietly catching the attention of collectors, the 1985 Lincoln penny. If you've ever thought that pennies were just simple change, think again. This small, often overlooked coin is hiding some serious value, and today, we're going to uncover exactly why it might be worth a lot more than you think. The 1985 Lincoln penny might look like just another coin at first glance, but when you dig deeper, you'll realize there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency for over a century, and it continues to be one of the most iconic and widely collected coins in the world. However, when it comes to specific years, some of them stand out more than others, and 1985 is definitely one of those years. Now, let's talk about what makes this 1985 penny truly special. The first thing you need to know is that while many 1985 pennies are still floating around in circulation, they weren't minted in rare quantities like other coins, so it's not about the number of these coins being produced. Instead, it's all about the condition and the errors that can make a 1985 penny especially valuable. If you're a collector, then you know the importance of minting errors in determining the value of a coin. These are those unique imperfections that happen during the coin production process, and they make a coin stand out from the rest of the bunch. One of the most sought-after errors for the 1985 Lincoln penny is the double die obverse. This is an error where the coin is struck twice during the minting process, causing certain features of the design, like Lincoln's portrait or the Liberty inscription, to appear doubled. The 1985 double die penny can be a goldmine for collectors, and if you're lucky enough to find one in good condition, you could be holding onto a coin worth thousands. The double die error is so popular because it's one of the most noticeable and dramatic types of minting flaws, and collectors are always on the lookout for these rare coins. The doubled lettering and doubled features give the penny a unique and distinct appearance that sets it apart from its counterparts, but that's not all. The 1985 Lincoln penny is also known for a few other variations that make it more appealing. For example, the mint mark plays a significant role in the value of the coin. Depending on whether the penny was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, the rarity and desirability can change. While the Philadelphia minted pennies are the most common, if you happen to have one minted in San Francisco or Denver, you may have a rarer version of the coin. Especially if you find one in near mint condition, this could be a true treasure. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A 1985 penny that's well preserved, showing little to no wear, can fetch much more than one that's seen better days. The difference between a coin in average circulation and one in pristine condition can be substantial. If you're wondering how to tell if your coin is in top-notch condition, you should look for coins that have sharp details and clear features, especially around Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the letters. Now, you might be wondering, just how much could this humble penny be worth if it checks all the boxes: minting errors, rare variations, and excellent condition? Well, if you've got a 1985 Lincoln penny with a double die error in pristine condition, you're looking at a coin worth an impressive $52,000. Yes, that's right, $52,000 for a penny. Who would have thought that a single, tiny penny from 1985 could be worth such a significant sum? For all you collectors out there, this is exactly why it's so important to check your pennies, especially those that you may have stored away for years. Even a small flaw, like a double die error or a minting variation, can dramatically increase its value. A coin that may seem like a standard penny could end up being a hidden gem worth more than you ever imagined. So, if you happen to have a 1985 Lincoln penny lying around, make sure to take a closer look. Inspect it carefully for any signs of a double die error or other minting flaws. If you find one of these rare pennies in top condition, you could be holding onto a valuable piece of American history. That wraps up our exploration of the 1985 Lincoln penny. Who knew that a coin as small as a penny could have such a big impact on your collection and your wallet? Today, we're taking a closer look at a coin that might be hiding in your pocket or in an old jar of change, the 1975 Lincoln penny. Don't let its humble appearance fool you. This particular penny has captured the attention of collectors for years, and today, we're going to explore why this 1975 penny could be worth far more than you'd expect. Now, when you think of the Lincoln penny, you probably picture Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and the familiar wheat stalks or shield on the back, depending on the year. But the 1975 version of the penny stands out for several key reasons, making it highly sought after by collectors. In fact, this coin might just be one of the hidden gems you've been overlooking. First, let's talk about the 1975 penny's rarity. Although millions of these coins were minted, the number of well-preserved 1975 pennies is far smaller. Like with most coins, condition matters a lot in the world of coin collecting. Pennies from the 1970s are especially prone to wear and tear because they were frequently used in daily transactions. This makes finding one in mint condition a pretty big deal, but here's where it gets interesting. The 1975 Lincoln penny is known for having some unique minting errors that have only increased its allure in the numismatic world. One of the most notable errors collectors are on the lookout for is the double die obverse. This happens when the coin is struck multiple times during the minting process, causing the design to be doubled in certain areas. If you've ever seen a coin with doubled letters or a doubled image of Abraham Lincoln, you know it's a special error that makes the coin more desirable and valuable. Now, what makes the 1975 double die penny so special? Well, the doubling is most noticeable on the Liberty inscription, the "In God We Trust" motto, and parts of Lincoln's portrait. These doubled features make the coin visually striking and give it a distinct look. Collectors love these minting flaws because they make the coin one of a kind, and finding one in good condition is a rarity in itself, but that's not all. There are also other variations of the 1975 penny that could make it stand out. Some pennies from this year have a distinctively thin or thick font on the reverse side, adding another layer of rarity to this coin. The mint mark on a 1975 penny also plays a role in its value. If your penny has a D mint mark, meaning it was struck in Denver, or if it's from Philadelphia without a mint mark, the rarity can vary. These subtle differences can significantly influence a coin's worth, especially for collectors looking for specific types. Another factor that adds value to the 1975 Lincoln penny is its historical context. The 1970s were a time of significant change in the United States. In fact, this was the decade when the U.S. Mint started experimenting with different designs and materials for coins, including the Lincoln Memorial reverse that would eventually become iconic. Owning a 1975 penny with its original design gives collectors a piece of that transitional period in American history, which only adds to its value. So, how much is this small penny from 1975 really worth? If you happen to have one of these rare double die era pennies, or even just a well-preserved 1975 Lincoln penny, you could be holding onto something truly valuable. And we're talking about serious money here. If you're lucky enough to have a 1975 Lincoln penny in excellent condition, it could be worth as much as $46,600. Yes, you heard that right, $46,600 for a single penny. In the world of coin collecting, the value of a coin depends on many factors, but the 1975 Lincoln penny is a prime example of how a coin can go from being just another piece of change to a valuable treasure with the right combination of rarity, condition, and error. So, next time you're sorting through your change, keep an eye out for this little gem. It might just be sitting in your collection right now, ready to be worth a small fortune. Remember, minting errors, rarity, and condition all come together to make the 1975 Lincoln penny one of the most interesting and valuable pennies on the market today. Today, we're diving into a coin that's often overlooked but holds a surprising amount of value, the 1990 Lincoln penny. While most of us are familiar with the humble penny, this particular year's version has a few secrets up its sleeve. Stick around as we break down why the 1990 Lincoln penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Now, let's start with a bit of history. The 1990 Lincoln penny is a part of the Lincoln Memorial series that was minted between 1959 and 2008, before the design was changed to the Union Shield. During this period, the reverse side of the penny depicted the Lincoln Memorial, a classic design that has become a symbol of the American spirit. The obverse, the front side, features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which hasn't changed much since the coin's inception in 1909. At first glance, a 1990 penny may seem like just another copper-plated coin, and it very well could be. However, there's a twist to this tale. Over the years, a select few of these pennies have become incredibly sought after due to minting errors and their overall rarity. So, let's dive into what makes the 1990 penny so special and why it has some collectors scrambling to find it. First off, let's talk about the rarity of the 1990 penny. While it's not the rarest year in the series, the number of well-preserved coins from this year is relatively small. Over time, pennies like the 1990 coin have been subject to wear and tear. Most pennies from this period were in circulation for years, getting scratched, dinged, and worn down through everyday transactions. So, finding a 1990 Lincoln penny in mint condition, with no visible signs of wear, is not only a rarity but also a highly prized treasure for collectors. But here's where things get even more interesting. Some 1990 pennies have been discovered to have unique minting errors, which makes them worth far more than their face value. One of the most desirable errors that can make a 1990 penny much more valuable is the double die obverse. What does that mean? Well, a double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once during the minting process, causing parts of the design, like the wording on the coin or even Lincoln's portrait, to appear doubled or misaligned. This double die error can be found in the Liberty inscription, the date, 1990, and the famous motto, "In God We Trust." If you have a 1990 penny that exhibits any of these doubled features, it could be a very rare find indeed. Coins like these are highly sought after by collectors because they are unique, and their rarity only increases their desirability in the market, but that's not the only thing that makes the 1990 penny special. Another factor that contributes to its value is the mintage figures. The U.S. Mint produced a substantial number of pennies in 1990, but not all of them were carefully preserved or kept in great condition. Coins that have been stored properly and show no signs of wear have become incredibly valuable in recent years. It's all about the condition. Uncirculated pennies are always worth far more than their circulated counterparts, especially if they're free from scratches, stains, or other signs of handling. Let's take a closer look at the value of the 1990 Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, how could it possibly be worth a lot of money? Well, if you've got a 1990 penny that is in mint condition or even has that sought-after double die error, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than its face value. A well-preserved, error-free 1990 penny could be worth around a few dollars to collectors. But if it has a double die error or another notable variation, the value can skyrocket. In some cases, depending on the rarity of the error, this little penny can fetch a jaw-dropping $34,600, yes, you heard that right, $34,600 for a single 1990 Lincoln penny. And that's not all. If you've got a penny with a high-grade error, you might even see values higher than that in the future. Coins like this have a fascinating way of appreciating over time, especially when they're tied to such unique mistakes in minting. Now, if you're out there hunting for coins, it's important to know what to look for. The 1990 penny might not seem like much at first glance, but when you start examining the coin carefully, you could be holding onto a hidden treasure. Look for double die errors, check for mint marks, and make sure the coin is in great condition. The next time you go through your change or coin collection, keep an eye out for this potential gem.so. What's the moral of the story here? That little 1990 Lincoln penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. If it's in pristine condition or has one of those rare minting errors, you could be looking at a valuable asset that may just be waiting for the right buyer. And for those lucky enough to have found one, it could be worth $34,600. Thanks for tuning in, coin lovers. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest coin discoveries. Happy collecting, and remember, sometimes, the smallest coins hide the biggest surprises.